Hey guys, welcome to Market Mondays. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be going into everything that happened last week. So before I get right into it, I'm gonna do a quick dad joke. Dad joke today is a two-parter. So as you guys know, I have a lot of dad jokes in my dad base, and but the problem is that I don't have any kids, so I can't really be a dad, which makes me a faux ha. Get it? Pew pew. All right, so getting right into it. Last week it was a whole slew of things, and mortgage rates just basically got worse, and worse every single day of last week. Now, the reason that drove that volatility is because of the whole tariff discussion. That was the biggest things when it came to the rates being as bad as they were. Now, there's a lot of the good things that came out of the week, especially the inflation reports. So two of the inflation reports. It's called CPI and PPI. This core consumer price index and producer price index. They all came down significantly. Unfortunately, if the tariff news wasn't a thing during all of last week, we probably would have seen rates improve even further. Unfortunately, with the tariffs, it added an extra level of volatility. Now, the thing is, it's not really a long term. It's not going to be probably not a long term impact once they've established something. Personally, I think what's happening is that uh, what they did was what a lot of people do in business when it comes to negotiating. They just state that this is what we're going to do, and then they wanted to see which way the other party swings in regards to which way they want to go. And they're talking about a lot of negotiations on what they're going to do. So I think what happened is that whether you agree with this or not, I think the tactic of what they're doing is something that's similar that happens to business, that they set up a policy, they set up a decision, and kind of strong arm the other person to make a decision on how they want to swing. As far as direction of how they want to negotiate, and I think they just forced a negotiation to the table. I don't think I think this was all a negotiating tactic, honestly, and I think everyone that was involved had to commit to this being not a negotiating tactic. This was actually happening. And I think that's what's happening. I think that's what they're doing. So I think all this volatility stuff is very similar to when the Ukraine war broke out. Because the opposite effect happened during the Ukraine when the Ukraine war broke out, is that mortgage rates got really good. I think this is kind of a similar situation, is that it's a situation that kind of comes up globally economically, and the biggest impact is the very first couple of weeks, and then it kind of just eases off as far as volatility goes in the markets. So that's what I think is happening. But rates really took a dive, like in a bad way. They probably went up by almost a 0.5% from where we were, maybe more than that. But it was tough to see how mortgage rates were trending last week, especially when we saw such a good run the week before. We got even down to the 6.25 range. Now we're in the mid sixes again, maybe high sixes. But today has been a really good day for mortgage rates, as far as that goes. So we hope that maybe the tariffs discussion has kind of leveled off the volatility a little bit, and now the inflation reports are now having an impact on mortgage rates. At least that's what we hope. So to give you an idea of what that looks like now as far as mortgage rates go, we kind of see this rise from the 4th of April, which is literally last week, 10 days ago. It started from the last week of April, the first week of basically the last 10 days. It basically saw this gigantic rise because of the whole tariff volatility. And then now we're seeing this is a big move. If it maintains throughout the day, we could start seeing mortgage rates kind of ease off back into the trend that we'd hope to see moving on. So I'd say in times of this is a very temporary volatility situation. Eventually things will settle out. So, because a lot of everything that's happened is a lot of talk, a lot of negotiation. So we hope that it just continues to ease off and people calm down. Otherwise, that's really all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys have a great week. I will talk to you guys soon and give you guys an update next week as well for Market Mondays. Otherwise, that's all I got. Talk to you guys soon.